Well, hello there, people of the world. Today I'm going to be answering random questions by a robot. A robot is going to ask me random questions. Now, these are completely random. I don't know what these questions are. I didn't have any say in what these questions would be. So let's start with the first question. What is the first question?
Are you a fan of Mr. Peanut?
Okay, yes. I am a fan of Mr. Peanut. Okay, now, I think Mr. Peanut would be an Eternal Life fan. That's just my personal opinion. I have that feeling. And I think that, just look, I like peanuts. I just like them. I eat peanut butter. I'm a fan. So, yeah, of course I like Peanut, Mr. Peanut, and peanuts grow underground. So, that's cool, and I relate to that because I want to live underground one day. Okay? So, the plant literally grows underground. They send the peanut to grow underground, which is pretty cool. It's one of the coolest plants, and yes, a big fan. And it's very healthy. Peanut butter, but make sure you eat healthy peanut butter without hydrogenated oils, without sugar, etc. Just normal, natural peanut butter that is 100% peanuts.
I love this sticky stuff Mom puts in our sandwiches. What do you call it? Peanut butter.
London, great news.
Me first. I like peanut butter.
Come on, let's go get some peanut butter. Who's with me?
And also, peanut butter can potentially be dangerous because it could have salmonella poisoning. Okay, you see that in the news sometimes. You see people get salmonella poisoning from their peanut butter. So what I would recommend is to buy a bunch of peanut butter and wait a few months before you eat it. Wait like a month. And that way you can monitor the news and make sure that your peanut butter does not have salmonella poisoning. So, next question, please.
Do you think it's good that Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez are good friends?
I think it's cool that they're friends, but I do worry that they're a bad influence on each other because they do have these junk food parties.
One of their favorite things to do together is have a junk food fest called the Lonely Girls Club. I'll let Selena explain. Take a look.
So Taylor hosts this thing at her house where all of our single friends, which is most of us, and we get together and get really bad junk food, and she cooks some sort of, cake, and we play with Meredith,
So I'm worried that they're both eating unhealthy and their health is going to spiral downward because they're not into health and, they eat too much junk food. They probably are not trying to live forever. Taylor Swift just came out with her song, I Don't Want to Live Forever. But it was interesting. She actually never sang that line. She actually never sang that lyric. It was just that other stupid guy that sang that lyric. But I'm just worried that Taylor, that they're going to die or something. Like it's a bad omen to me. That them together, they're going to be a bad thing. I just think that I wish they would try to be healthier and live forever. I don't think they're being very serious. And I know that Selena has lupus, so that's a concern. So she needs to be extra careful about her health. So my advice to them would be to study about health. Instead of eating all this junk food, instead of having junk food parties, maybe they should have, health food parties. Maybe eat some peanut butter, some healthy peanut butter, banana, honey shakes and smoothies and some healthy food instead of all this junk food. They're really disrespecting their health. And, Taylor Swift, she has that song called Bad Blood. Well, when you eat junk food, you get bad blood.
look what you've done. 'Cause baby, now we got bad blood.
You get it poisons your blood, and that in turn makes you age faster, and it's dangerous. So, not a fan of their influence on each other, and they need really a smarter person in their club. Someone more like, I don't know, Shailene Woodley. Shailene Woodley should get in their club, because Shailene Woodley is healthier, and she has that health mindset where she's focused on diet, she's focused on doing everything with her lifestyle to be healthy. So if Shailene Woodley were to enter their little girl squad, that would be a match made in heaven, and they'd all be more likely to live forever. All right, next question.
What's your opinion of monogamy?
Okay, well, my opinion of monogamy is it's a good thing. It's the way humans should be. We're supposed to be monogamous, and this is just, like penguins. Penguins are monogamous. They find one penguin and they hook up for life. And I think that's the way humans are supposed to be. But people are being brainwashed, and they're being told that it's good and natural to be polyamorous and this gross stuff. The Mormons are polygamists, and you just sluttiness. This is sick. You're just supposed to have one person. This is the safest. It's safest for STDs. When you have multiple partners, you're opening yourself up, a can of worms, a can of STDs. It's not safe. It's dangerous. So people are just being stupid, and they're really just being obsessed with, hedonism. And that's why they want all these different relationships. They're not satisfied with just one person. They want to just have all the different flavors, and it's gross. It's gross. Just stick with one person, and you're going to have a much easier time living forever. And I think it's probably better for your mental health. I think they've done studies where if you get into a relationship with someone, then you find out they've had all these other sexual partners before you, that's not good for your mental health. I'm pretty sure. I have to look that up, but I think that's true. But this whole talk of monogamy actually reminds me of a interview that I recently saw with Evalion. And I'll just show you the clip, but everything that Evalion says in this following clip, I agree with 100%.
But why, what always bothered me since I was younger, if sex is natural, why do we need to take in so much information about it from a young age?
Yeah.
Our ancestors somehow figured out how to reproduce for freaking thousands of years. Why is it only today that we need education? There's clearly something wrong. And they gotta teach kids about the STDs. Why are there STDs? Because people are very spiritually sick. They are fucking degenerates. They're having sex with a bunch of people. They're fucking like rabbits. This didn't happen back in the day because, we are monogamous creatures. We fall in love with one person and we're focused on one person, but the media does not promote that. And there are psychiatrists, same Jewish psychiatrists, that are promoting pedophilia as a sexual orientation, saying that humans are actually not monogamous. We are polyamorous. And they're pushing this cuckoldry that men should allow their wives to sleep with other men because it's better for us. There has been so many studies done that show that having more sexual partners actually makes you a lot more mentally ill and unhappier. But no, the Jews just want to inject this cultural poison, and it's working.
Okay, so just a little disclaimer. I don't condone Evalion and her ideas, but she just had a good idea there in that clip. And, I disagree with her. She says some anti-Semitic things. I'm a big fan of Jews. I love Jews. I don't have her hatred of Jews like she has, and I think that's one of her biggest problems. And, she says some racist things. she uses the N-word, and so just want to be clear, I do not agree with her on all those stuff at all, but when she talks about the degeneracy, I agree with that, and I do agree that promiscuity is very degenerate and gross. So it's better to stick with one person. And Evalion, speaking of Evalion, she watched my video, the video that says, does Evalion want to live forever? Okay, and she said, this is how they want us to think. So she didn't agree with what I said in that video. You know, you can watch that video in the description, but she doesn't get it, because I was just saying in that video that these National Socialists, they focus on leaving the legacy and they think that's important. And I'm saying that if we die and if we cease to exist, then your legacy didn't matter. It didn't matter if you had kids, if you passed on your genes, if your race survives or if it doesn't survive. None of that even matters if you personally don't get to live forever. That was the point I was trying to get across. And, you know, here she leaves this comment and she says, this is how they want us to think. I think she's talking about the Jews. You know, it's silly. If the Jews do want us to think this way, that I'm promoting, the living forever, then the Jews would be right. The Jews are right in that we should want to live forever. That is the most important thing. From a self-vantage point of your self-interest, that is the most important thing, is that you get to live forever, that I get to live forever. You see what I'm saying? So Evalion is wrong on another thing. She's wrong about this, because she thinks it's important to leave a legacy, and she thinks she's going to die, and she's a deathist. So, but when she talks about degeneracy, she's right about that, and she's right about the issue of monogamy. She's wrong about anti-Semitism. She's wrong about the Jews, and she's demonizing Jewish people. That is wrong, and that's stupid and evil. All right, I am ready for another question. Can this be my last question? My gosh. Let it be a good one, but my last one, please. I'm getting tired.
Do you like Christina Aguilera's music? If so, do you have a favorite song?
Well, favorite song by Christina Aguilera. Yeah, I do love Christina Aguilera. She is one of the better singers. And I love her song, Fighter. Fighter is a good theme song for Eternal Life fans. We need to have a fighting spirit. It is so important that we have a relentless fighting spirit that does not give up. And that's the theme and that's the message of this song, Fighter. So listen to that song and be inspired. And also, what I love about this song is Christina Aguilera incorporated the whole, you know, what I love about the butterflies and the caterpillars and the metamorphosis, and she incorporated that into her song. And it's like this great, beautiful music video that goes along with it. It's a very empowering song, self-empowerment and being motivated. If you're lacking motivation, listen to this song and let it motivate you to think, I'm a fighter. I could live forever. This is realistic and I'm going to fight for it. Never give up. You know, I'm a fighter. And the song is kind of about how people are abusing her in her life and she doesn't let that get her down. We're all going to have haters. We're going to have people against us. If you don't have haters, you're probably doing something wrong, to be honest. You should have haters. If you're going out there and being judgmental, like you should be, like I'm telling people, look, judge people. Be a judgmental person. It's good for you. It's good for them. It's good for the world to be honest and judge people. That's all judgment is at the end of the day. It's honesty, because we all want to judge people. We all see things in the world that disturb us. We all see people that disturb us, and we feel like, oh, geez, I really like to judge them. I'd like to get this off my chest and judge them and express my hatred and my anger at these people and these problems in the world. So if you're judging people, you're going to get haters. That's my point. So you judge people, people are probably going to, hate you just for being honest and judgmental, but don't let that stop you. Be a fighter and fight for your eternal life. That's it. May you live forever.
That much stronger makes me work a little bit